the living geeks.
I'm silent.
Oh, yeah, mine's actually, that is a good.
You guys want some cookies?
Can everyone? Can you see everything?
Unique New York.
Hello.
I still remember a lot of those from Meeker. It's weird.
Jake, test. No, it's test. Talking them. Test.
Hello.
Oh no, Bronco.
All right, yeah, everyone's doing it.
Torch was denied a bank loan. And also a good weekend
Don't
at
worry.
the box office.
If you laugh or anything, they won't hear it.
That's relevant.
Taylor, you're not. You got to stop doing that. We don't allow arson on the show.
All right.
I just expected better from you. I expected better from you. Do the quap.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, both did it.
Love doing the clap.
All right. The quap.
Love getting
The quap.
The quap.
We're gonna talk about the fwalk.
The quap
After
and the
we
quap. Was it evil?
Was it?
Okay.
All right. So
We make.
I'm gonna do intro, and then I'm gonna do the list of what the topics we're gonna do, and then we'll start.
Shit,
Dude,
guys.
the dick is like this.
Guys, real quick. If Nintendo were to start, you know how they love remaking their games? Why aren't they calling them remakes? I'm not even kidding. That's such a wasted opportunity.
That's such an oversight on their part.
Wow. I am no longer a fan of them.
Put that in a bottle, put it in your pocket, get ready to break it out at a moment's notice.
Why didn't you wait until the podcast to say that?
Because there's no place. We're not talking about it at all today.
You could have just said, "Go, guys."
Just randomly?
Just randomly.
Well, it's too late. I'm sorry. Maybe
We lost it. It's
No,
gone.
we'll tweet about it. Taylor, tweet about it.
Okay, right now. Sorry, give me a second.
No, shut up, Taylor. Not right now. Let's start the podcast.
We already did that. All right. There you go. I was waiting for that. Hello and welcome to this week's. I always say Last Honest Gamers.
You could just say LHG.
I know I do say LHG,
It's a
but I always say
habit now.
I say Last Honest Gamers. It's a
see.
habit.
All right.
The last honest LHG.
Hello everyone and welcome to this week's LHG podcast. I'm Nick. That's Jake.
Hello.
That's Connor.
Hello.
There's Taylor.
Yo.
And we have
There's Taylor.
I'm over here, I guess.
Last guy.
and we have Maddie behind the camera again.
Making sure nothing catches fire.
Yep. And we have a special guest today. We'll introduce him later.
Indeed.
And today's topics is we're going to be talking about the Resident Evil 2 remake, some Kingdom Hearts news,
Okay.
Dying Light news,
Mm-hmm.
the PlayStation Experience,
Mm-hmm.
Jake's opinion on a bunch of things, and roll with it.
It's just two things.
On a
It's
bunch
not
of
even.
things.
It's not even. It's just one opinion and one.
What are those things? You'll
We have to find out later.
Jake's
Yeah.
secret opinion.
Yeah.
Forthcoming soon.
So let's get right into that.
Okay.
First topic, which is Resident Evil 2 remake. Let's start with
No,
Jake.
don't start with me.
No, let's start with
Don't
Jake.
start with
No,
Jake.
We're start with the person.
Jake doesn't. All right. Start with Jake.
Go.
Do it.
Start with
Go. I
Jake.
dare you.
Yeah, Jake. Start.
Go.
What?
Resident Evil 2.
What about it?
What's your mind? What's the first word that pops in your mind?
Remake.
Any
You
other
had a pitiful childhood.
I've got nothing. I don't know. Okay, like my first Resident Evil game was Deadly Silence. I don't know what
I
you
don't
want me to
even
tell.
know what
What is that?
What are you talking about?
I don't know what that is.
I think
don't know
that's
what
the
that is.
DS one
Yeah,
or
that's
the Game
the
Boy
one.
Advance one.
That's like the first year when the DS came out, where they were naming all the subtitles that they made them start with D and S.
Well, I don't mean to be rude, but I think the first problem there is a Resident Evil game is being played on DS.
Yes, no,
that's like
that-
cardinal sin.
That's why I brought it up. It's not good. I'm not the conversation person this time.
Okay.
But at the same time, maybe it could be used. You could hype me for this.
Okay.
Tell me why
wait,
it's
wait,
awesome.
wait.
Yeah, I've watched my brothers die in the trenches playing this game.
So they are going to talk a lot. I just want to know, what do you see when what do you think of when you hear Resident Evil, other than the DS game? Have you looked at any of the other ones?
Sheva. I think a lot about Sheva because that was burned into my mind. I played through that one with my friend Joel once, and it was just yelling Sheva a lot.
What's Shiva?
She's
Sheva?
your partner in 5.
Shut up!
Was that 5? No, it was 4.
No, it's 5.
Really?
4 was Leon.
What did I
Yeah,
even play
4
then? Okay. Anyway. But yeah, so
question us on
so I-
Resident Evil.
that was fun.
No, okay.
That's about it. That's about all I got. Is that whole game was fun. It was
For
good. Ouroboros was like a really annoying boss, but it, fun overall.
Fun to say.
Yeah, Ouroboros, right? That's about it. Like, it was a good game. It wasn't the stuff of Legends, though. It was just it was good.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you played 5.
Yeah.
That's what you think.
Okay.
Just
What about
Basic.
you, Nick? Let me point the gun at you.
Me?
The thought gun.
Thanks, Connor.
The thought gun.
You got my
The
back.
thought gun.
unlike Jake here, I've played all of them.
Well.
Even 6?
Well then, Big
little bit of
Spender,
6.
tell us
Okay.
about it.
What? We've
Even
all played all of them.
Deadly
No, I'm just kidding,
Silence.
dude. I'm just kidding.
What?
Even Deadly Silence.
All the console ones.
Yeah.
All the good ones.
All the ones that don't induce suicide.
Except for the Wii ones. Have you played
I
the
think it's called Deadly
the,
Silence.
the Unreal ones?
You hang
and
yourself
and except for the even numbered ones. And
All right,
and,
so-
anyway,
Moving on.
So the first Resident Evil game I played was 2, and I liked it tremendously.
when did you first play it? Like back
I
in
played
the
it on.
day?
I played it
Did you
on.
say tremendously?
yeah, he did. Yeah, tremendously. I mean,
Tremendously.
I like it.
You know
but-
what? Just give me a high five for just bastardizing the language we speak every day. Yes. Moving on. Continue.
Yes.
So I played that. I played that on a emulator when
On your PSP or the...
no
Computer.
on the computer.
Okay.
It's when I first started playing Resident Evil and Silent Hill. I played them on emulators, and then I bought the PS2 versions.
Mm-hmm.
But no, actually, I think the first Resident Evil I played was 4.
What?
Yeah,
What did you say 2 and then 4?
because I
It came
just-
out so far apart.
because like I knew of 2. I saw you guys play 2, but I never really played it.
Okay, I get.
Mm.
I
get what
really
you're saying.
played 4 first on the GameCube, and then I was like, I want to play the other ones, the classic ones. And I
Yeah.
played 2 first.
It's definitely much different than 4 because 4 is where it kind of became streamlined and actiony, and you could chuck grenades without having to go into your inventory and select grenades.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
I still liked the older ones better.
All right, guys.
I
Yeah.
don't know why.
So I just quick question. So tell me what was so good about Resident Evil 2? We're not talking about remake right now. This question is just what was good about it.
All right,
Uh,
so put your mind into your. I can't even talk right now.
Connor.
Just
Let
go.
somebody else talk then.
All right.
Okay, so what's great about Resident Evil is how there's horror movies there's like slasher like tries to scare you
Yes.
like that, and it's just kind of like oh haha like fun, and then there's like the horror movies that like get inside your brain and kind of like make you question things and start looking over your shoulder as you're watching the movie, and it's
Yes.
like that's like the Resident Evil hasn't always achieved that, but at its best moments it totally does, where
Yeah.
it gets you psychologically. And the kicker is that once you're psychologically enthralled in their realm of scariness, then they get you with the jumping like startle scares, and
And-
it's like
and-
then you're even more at that point you're so susceptible to those that it's like you don't even know what the hell is going to happen next, and like that exact quality is what keeps you coming back for more. It's just
Totally.
like you become a glutton for the specific brand of punishment that they.
So you're saying is
have.
Resident Evil on its high notes, it does that really well, and so
Yeah.
Resident Evil 2 in general was just a high note in the series.
I think
well,
it's
one
widely
is
regarded as the best. One
right.
of the best.
Well, it's like one is like here's Resident Evil, like this is a new thing. Like, what do you guys think of it? So it's like a fresh idea. And then in 2, like they got tons of feedback and it was really popular. And then in 2, they're like, okay, like we heard you guys. Now we're gonna like do it right. And it had like these 2 alternate storylines, and those 2 alternate storylines had alternate storylines.
Yeah, that's
so it's
true.
like,
There was an
there's
A-B
technically
game, yeah.
4 games you could play through, and
Nice.
it's all the same scenario with the same like happening at the same time, but from 4 different angles. And
yeah, it's neat.
and so that adds this whole other element to it where you beat the game the first time and you get used to like okay like zombie arms pop out here and like oh there's a liquor on the ceiling there, and then you play through the B game and
Wait,
like
there's-
all that is
There's
turned
a what? There's
a
liquor.
liquor. There's these
Oh.
really nasty creatures called liquors.
You're just like there's liquor on the ceiling. I'm like, well, why is liquor there? Like,
well, why don't you grab it and drink it,
Just-
dude? I mean,
This is
Just
good.
wait for it.
I'm used to Shadows of the
Secret
Dam.
item.
But that's health.
He,
Right?
he said a liquor.
No, I get it.
But and then when you play the B game, it totally flips it on its head and everything's in a different place and there's all kinds of new baddies and
Oh yeah.
That's cool.
I don't know. It's just and plus,
So it's kind of it's their version of switching it up without actually having the technology to randomize it or procedurally generate.
Right, it was all premeditated.
It's kind of like a different version.
It was very deliberately like flipped around and switched up like on the second playthrough. But I don't know. So 1 was like, hey, here's Resident Evil. 2 was like kind of like the masterwork, and then 3 was like, oh wow, Resident Evil is really popular. Like we have to like answer, or we have to repeat what we've done. And it just kind of, it was Resident Evil 3 was really good. It just kind of came up a little bit shorter.
Yeah, I totally
and like
agree.
it's totally a fun game, but like it's like when Final Fantasy 7 came out, it changed everything, and then Final Fantasy 8 came out, great game. Not that many people liked it because it wasn't the sequel that they had all been dreaming of.
All right, so Taylor, unless you have anything big to add to why Resident Evil 2 was awesome, or did that sum it up?
I just want to. I'll add one thing. I think it does a really good job of creating tension, where there's like moments where not a lot's going on. There's not zombies, and you're like, all right, where's the next zombie or where's the next crazy thing? Because there's like a lot of puzzle stuff, and like I feel like they're always adding new enemies. Like you'll be walking around, you hear like a different kind of foot tap, and you're like, oh, dogs, like that's crazy. And then they add like this giant spiders. It's like, it just constantly like adds new
giant spiders.
stuff. Yeah.
Such dicks, dude.
So then,
such dicks.
Taylor.
So more or less, it's what Connor's saying. Yeah.
So why is everyone clamoring for a remake then? What's so special about it? Why does it need to be remade?
So recently, earlier this year, they released. This is funny. They released a remake. In HD, so they re-released a
remaster.
They remastered a remake. Of
My brain hurts, Taylor.
So so there was Resident Evil, which was on GameCube, which was a remake of the original PS1.
They called it Resident Evil 0, right?
No, they just called it Resident Evil. That's a different game.
Oh, that's a different one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Pardon
essentially,
me.
it's they remade Resident Evil 1 with better graphics. They added like new rooms. They switched up how the order in which things happen, and I feel like it's widely considered the best game, or it's like top 2, top 3 kind of conversation.
That
in
remake?
Resident Evil. Yeah, the remake, and it's even better in HD because they fixed some stuff and it looks a lot better. That's my personal favorite is the remake.
Real quick, was that the ones where if you didn't torch the zombies after you killed them, they came back to life and were super messed up?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that one. Because like,
freaky.
if you're totally not covering all your bases, you're just running through a room, you kill a zombie and run out. Don't even think about it twice. You walk back into the room. There's like this Red Skull zombie, super pissed off, ready to like rip your head off and crap down your throat.
Because they didn't tell you that. It just like you play through, you're like, whoa, what is this?
Yeah.
Like,
it's okay. Just making sure it's the same one.
And because that was so good, they're like, well, why not just do that again with 2? Like that would be awesome. Because
so they're tinkering with it.
Exactly. Because I feel like most people feel like after 4, Resident Evil progressively got worse. Like 5 was like good, but it wasn't as good as 4, and then 6 was just like. A lot of people said was shit. I liked it.
Right.
So what all's being remade about it then? It's a graphical overhaul. It's got to be, right?
Yeah.
But is the game? Is it they're doing like a Halo Master Chief Edition collection kind of thing where the gameplay and the coding is the exact same? So
no, it's going to be different.
They're
It's going to be different.
They're probably going to if it's like the original remake. For 1, I feel like they're going to add
the
new
original
rooms.
remake. We've gotten.
Yeah,
there,
I know this is so confusing.
We're
confusing.
We've come full circle.
But they're probably going to add new rooms, new way in which you go about it. Like the 2 scenarios are probably going to be way different.
Oh, yeah.
Claire and Leon.
Totally. I wonder if they'll still have A and B games.
I mean, maybe. I hope so.
That'd be great.
Well, couldn't they just replace it with procedurally generated stuff? Maybe not but just
I feel like it would lack.
randomized.
I feel like it would lack the gravity of like a premeditated, like rearranged world.
Well, maybe if there was like. They've got a total of 6 or 8 different things that could happen in any given room. That would all so it's kind of premeditated, but it's shuffled. So it's like each card in the deck is well made, but you never know which one you're going to get.
So you could play through it the 7th time and still see something that makes you go,
yeah, that's a little bit off, but you could see a lot of the same stuff that you've played before. But,
right.
I mean, I think there's ways they could do it too because technology's improved. It doesn't.
Or
need
of
to be
course, if you do something else here, then XYZ will happen.
Well, that's what was interesting about 2 because there's this one part when you're in the lab where it's like, do you want to leave the flamethrower? If you leave it, then when you play on the B game, the other person gets it. Like you're leaving items for the other game.
That's
essentially.
Pretty cool.
So maybe it'll
same
do
with
more.
when you're in the armory and you take the submachine gun and the side pack.
Yep. So I'm curious if it'll make that more elaborate. Like there's things you can leave behind or whatever. So when you play the B game,
or maybe it'll have like some kind of like more active switching kind of thing where kind of almost GTA.
You got anything for this, Nick?
You want fixed camera angles.
That was going to be my next question.
Thank you.
Are we doing old OG cameras or are we going to do behind the shoulder or whatever?
The best part about fixed camera angles is that like there's corners you can't see around and the whole time you're just going, holy crap, what's around that corner?
Well, but is that is that realistic? And then the follow-up question, is realistic what they're going
No.
for? Because
Realistic does not fit Resident Evil.
Leon could just look around the corner.
I think
there's-
I think true to form would be better than realistic.
Yeah.
Yeah, Deadly Silence had fixed cameras. I know it's like kind of a crappy thing, but I do at least I had the taste for that, and it was terrifying. It was even on DS because I was a lot younger too. But it's like, it was pretty freaky having the fixed cameras, and I couldn't see anything. The freaking dogs and everything.
Yeah.
It
It's
was,
like
it was a pretty freaky game. They did well.
It was like a perfect storm with Resident Evil 2 because there was some parts. It had the pre-rendered backgrounds, of course, which were basically the standard at the time. And like there was a lot of parts where there's tons of like gore or like debris or like stuff in the like pre-rendered background, and it's like kind of fuzzy, so you can like almost not even tell like what things are. It makes it even creepier. Like, holy crap! Like, is that a face like in that pile of like whatever over there?
Yeah.
It's like the graphical deficiencies almost kind of like
The
give it
game
this
devs
kind
are
of
like,
ambiguous
"A what?
feel
A
where
face?"
yeah. It's like, what are you talking about?
Stupid kid.
But I don't know. It's just there's some times where like the graphics of old like contributed to it, just where I kind of fear that like
Yeah.
super good graphics might like sanitize the scariness.
What
And
makes me confident is that I feel like Resident Evil 1 has the best atmosphere because of improvements in lighting and all that stuff.
Okay.
Like the mood, like that hallway, like one of the first hallways you go down in Resident Evil 1, you're in the kitchen and you go to where the zombie's like eating the guy. Like that hallway is like terrifying in the remake.
super scary
Because there's like lights flickering and you can't see down the hallway, but there's a zombie there. And it's just
you can hear it.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Man.
So like
So you're saying like they're going to use the Resident Evil 1 remake as the blueprint for the Resident Evil 2 remake.
I hope
because it
they
was so
are,
massively successful. Like that seems like for sure the best case scenario.
yeah, because they said Resident Evil Remake HD was the best-selling digital game.
It's a
they've ever
buzzword.
done. Yeah, I know, it sucks. Anyway, they said that was like the best-selling digital game they've ever had. So it's like just do that.
Just do it again, right? If you had a great idea, hey, you want to just do that again? Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So they better not have Leon doing like karate.
Yeah, triple
Doing-
backflip neck snapper.
Yeah.
As
They-
much
but-
fun as
and-
that was,
And they need. Who are you?
What are you doing here? Who are you? Or, sorry about that, babe.
well, what's great is they kept those cheesy lines in the Resident Evil remake, like, "Oh, you were almost a Jill sandwich" or whatever. Like they kept all that dumb garbage. So
But
I
they
hope-
redubbed it. So
yeah. So I
Well,
hope they
hey.
keep that.
Yeah, hopefully they just keep taking cues from that.
Sorry, you just said redub, and I just thought of Peter Dinklage and Nolan North, and I'm so upset about it. So upset
Remember
about
that
it,
thing
guys.
that Chad said like before the podcast?
I'm lost.
What was that?
I can't say it on here, but you remember that? I think it's the same thing with that. To that.
Oh,
Who?
We'll
Sure,
save it for
all
your
right.
topic. We'll save
Yeah,
it
I'm
for your
sure
topic.
Sorry,
everyone
I'm
knows what
lost
you're
here,
talking about.
But sorry, it just got me thinking about Destiny. I'm so sad.
Okay, yeah. Hold that thought. Before we move off the Resident Evil 2 thing, because I don't know how much we can say about something that has like no footage whatsoever announced.
Right.
But the first time, I'm not proud of this, but at the same time, I'm so proud. The first time I ever soiled
That's a great
myself because of a video game / movie / scary thing was because of Resident Evil 2. It's
Yep.
because I was probably like 6. Like I'm trying. I didn't
yeah.
have to do some math, but I was a young boy. And you guys were playing. I couldn't really comprehend it, so I'm just like watching, petrified, like looking over your guys' shoulders. I can't tell what the hell is going on. All I know is that you guys are scared and I'm scared.
Right.
And so you're going. There's this hallway. Speaking of super creepy hallways, like you
Yeah.
said, it's all boarded up, but like there's like space in between the boards and it's just blackness behind them. And there's like, you swear to God you could see like eyes.
Yeah.
And so it's this super, and there's blood all over the boards. Like it's just a super creepy, super narrow hallway, and you're just walking down it the whole time. You're like looking over your shoulder, creepy hallway, and then you get to the end and just open the door and you just
It's
walk
just
out, and you're
nothing.
just like, okay. And so you go and you do ABC, you go do a bunch of stuff, and you come back through, and you've already been through here, so you're just like, oh yeah, this hallway. And then as you're coming back through, bam, zombie arms burst through and grab your character and
Yeah.
start shaking them,
Yeah.
and the music comes on, dun dun, dun
Yeah,
dun,
it's like
dun,
all
dun.
intense.
And so like we're walking back through this hallway sprinting at top speed, you know, like, oh, we've been through here before, and then crash, super loud noise plays, and they all jump, and then I look down and start feeling warm. And yeah, thanks Resident Evil 2. It's my proudest
That's awesome.
moment.
Yep. Good old RE2.
Shall we move on?
One memory is when I heard that my brother went to your brother's house and were just playing Resident Evil 2, and
Mhm.
they turned it on, and they heard the music, and they just turned it right back off.
It was like so creepy.
100% not
I
down.
thought I was up for this. I'm not up for this.
No.
You pull your bike up to the half pipe? No.
No, I don't think so.
Let's get in the car.
That is pretty scary though.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So there's some new Kingdom Hearts news.
Oh, yeah.
Taylor, I'll let you lead this one.
So I don't know how many of you guys are into Kingdom Hearts at all, but so yeah, 3's coming out at some point. So far, they've announced Tangled. That's one of the worlds.
Mhm.
Like I feel like that's one of the big things about the game. Like, what kind of cool new worlds are there? Because in 1 and 2, they reused a lot. Like they reused like Hercules
and Infinity mixed up, by the way. Because
Yeah,
I keep hearing
right?
about new worlds for stuff. And like
similar.
Disney Infinity, right? Where the little
It's like
NFC figure
Skylanders,
thing.
but with Disney characters.
So they
I
have worlds.
didn't know that was a
Anyway,
thing.
Just the terminology.
Yeah. So there hasn't been a lot of information, but anyway, the news today was that there's going to be a Big Hero 6 world, which is kind of
Nice.
cool. I'm just glad that they're doing new stuff because they, like I said, they recycled a lot from 1 and 2. And I'm glad it's new stuff. Like I feel like Frozen is inevitable.
I was gonna say there has to be a Frozen world because God, that so popular, man. It's crazy.
I know the kids love it. And I feel like if they knew there was a Frozen level, they'd be like, "Oh, I'll buy Kingdom Hearts. Why not?" Because my fear was like, "Oh, we don't want to put our popular stuff. We'll put these like lower tier movies in there." But then I'm like, "Oh, Tangled, okay." And they had like a producer introduce it from Disney. I'm like, "Oh,
yeah, I
okay.
remember that.
I guess they're taking it seriously." And the same guy introduced Big Hero 6. So I'm like, "Oh, I guess they're taking it seriously." So now everybody's like, "Are we getting Star Wars? Are we getting Avengers?"
Jesus,
Well,
how
so-
ridiculous with that?
So real
Pixar?
quick, I asked you about that
Lord of the
actually before the
Rings?
podcast, and you were saying you were talking about Star Wars in
In
Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
Right. I was like, oh god, not here, not on
Yeah.
film. Just- no, but so you were talking about Star Wars or something like
Yeah, so there was like a mobile game or something that like they were making. Either it got canceled or like some kind of concept art leaked, and they had a Frozen level, a Wreck-It Ralph level, and a Star Wars level.
Oh, yeah,
so
Wreck-It
assuming
Ralph.
they're legit, I mean, it
Yeah.
seems like that's definitely in the works.
Wreck-It Ralph seems like just makes too much sense.
Seems
to
like a
not have it.
no-brainer.
Yeah,
It's a no-brainer.
yeah,
Because there's so many mini games you could have built into that, just to keep it fresh. But
I mean, Kingdom Hearts always has a live action movie in the game. Kingdom Hearts 1 had Pirates of the Caribbean,
Oh, that's true. I forgot.
and then
oh damn,
and
Kingdom,
Tron as well.
Kingdom Hearts 2 had Tron.
damn,
So
I
I'm
totally
wondering-
forgot about both of those. I mean, I only played both games once, but
Huh. Well, yeah. I mean, that's the news.
That makes sense.
Okay.
for sure.
cool.
Well, so I guess we're just waiting on hearing about more exciting new worlds.
Hey, yeah, and an inevitable release date maybe.
Uh-huh.
Hopefully it's next year. I don't know, but Tokyo Game Show's around the corner, so maybe they'll have something there. I don't
You
know.
almost just called it TGS, and then no one would have any idea. What you're
Yeah,
talking
I'm like
about.
TGS. Nobody knows what that is. Tokyo Game Show.
Yes,
Tokyo
Nick?
Game Show.
At least we're getting more news on this game than Final Fantasy 15.
Oh,
If you need your
You okay,
Final Fantasy
Taylor?
15 news, by the way, talk to this guy. Yeah. Jeez.
yeah, but
Where is Coop Cooper today? I don't know. Probably hanging by his fucking neck in his fucking closet.
good old
AKA
basketball
AKA you right now.
right now.
Situation A. He's hanging.
Hanging by
I wish
his
you
neck
knew this
in his-
movie, audience, because it's so many in jokes.
audience.
Somebody has seen basketball and knows what we're talking about.
Yeah.
But for everyone else, let's
That's good.
Just real
move
quick.
on.
If you, I mean, I don't know how into Kingdom Hearts you guys are, but if you could pick like one Disney world that's not been in a Kingdom Hearts game, what would it be? And that includes like Star Wars and Marvel and all that other
You're
crap.
ambushing me right here.
Chad, do you have an
give
opinion?
give us your suggestion.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Sword
Ooh,
and Stone.
Stone, okay.
there you go.
Matt,
Get some,
any-
get some Merlin up in there, dude. Ooh,
Think about it. All right.
that's pretty good.
I got nothing, guys. I'm sorry.
I feel like Incredibles would be pretty good.
Yeah,
Robin Hood with the fox.
Yes.
Oh my
Oh,
god,
yeah,
that's
that'd be
perfect.
fantastic.
Perfect. I wonder if they still have the license for it because you know a really weird thing that happened. So when they put the HD remake out, they wouldn't let reviewers show any footage of the Jungle Book level because they lost the Jungle Book license.
Was
So
it
they'll-
the Jungle Book or Tarzan?
Oh, it was Tarzan. You're right. It was Tarzan. So they're like, yeah, you can't show the Tarzan level because we don't have the Tarzan license, which makes no sense because they like just released a game with the content in it, but whatever.
Whoops.
So
We messed up, guys.
So I'll be curious. Like Robin Hood, that'd be perfect with the foxes. Oh my god,
I know.
that is
So
like
classic.
perfect.
Maid Marian, dude.
Yeah,
I mean,
man.
you got your villain, the bumbling tiger prince, dude.
Totally.
Just imagine him getting corrupted by a Heartless.
Oh, I know. He'd turn into some big monster dog truck thing.
Yes.
Throwback.
Resident
Inside joke.
Evil reference right there.
Yeah, exactly.
Jake, got anything?
I've got nothing.
You got nothing?
Absolutely nothing.
Really?
I haven't played Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, you don't.
Oh.
You don't have any Disney levels that you'd want?
Well, I
in
don't
there,
know
in
what I
movies?
mean. Like
Just throw one out.
Like do you-
Thor.
Thor. Okay,
There we
cool.
go.
Sure, Asgard and Asgard level. Why not?
Okay. I mean, you could throw out pretty much any, and you could create a situation where that would be super cool. It's like,
yeah. Maddie just had Ratatouille.
well,
Might be a
there
good
you
one.
go.
Okay, perfect.
I mean, it's you'd have to introduce some combat into that one, but I mean, they could do it for sure. I mean, it's no question. They could make pretty much anything they've made cool in a Kingdom Hearts game.
Totally. Yeah.
Make all the. No, don't talk about that. The rat's evil.
There you go.
Dying Light.
Not yet.
Come on.
Nick's got a good- he's thinking.
I'm thinking about mine. They did all the ones that I want.
Am I gonna have to smack the answer out of you?
Yeah, I think you have to. Oh, wait. Have they done a Bug's Life?
No, I don't think so. They haven't done like any Pixar. So
They-
Toy Story. Why not just
Yeah,
Toy
the Toy Story, maybe Monsters Incorporated. They have a lot of stuff they could do.
Yeah.
Anything by Pixar?
Anything by Pixar, yeah.
Yeah.
down the
basically.
list.
Basically.
Of course.
You
So
know
we
what
could
we-
talk about this shit all
wait,
day.
and here's a real dark horse. Because Disney publishes these in America, that'd be really cool if they did like a Studio Ghibli level, like Spirited Away or like Howl's Moving Castle or something. Like that'd be a real dark horse.
that would be really cool.
That would be my
I'd like
pick.
that.
Something like that. Of
course it would
I
be
don't know
your
if that's
pick.
possible because technically Studio Ghibli, it's weird. You know what I mean? They're not technically Disney movies, but
Right.
Disney publishes them in America. So
You're a wise man, Taylor.
yeah, that would be my pick.
You're a wise man.
All right. So since Jake really wants to talk about it, we're going to talk about the PlayStation experience. Nah, I'm just joking. We're going to talk about the Dying Light. Apparently, is getting a new expansion called The Following,
And it also sold over 5 million copies.
and it sold over 5
That's
million
crazy.
Which is kind of bonkers.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like you were saying. There's like they released it at like the perfect
Oh,
time.
it was like the perfect storm of like timing because there was nothing out and people were like, well, there's no AAA games, might as well buy it. And they were like starved for games on like the
That's
next
kind
gen.
of why I bought it. There was
Well,
that,
see,
and
exactly.
and the Be the
Gotcha.
Zombie mode. That was a huge seller for me.
You wanted to kick our butts. That's all I want to do. He wanted
No, it
to
was
be.
both.
He
I
wanted
like-
to own us.
I like being both. I just like those. I'm really enjoying the asynchronous team fights that
Sure.
have been coming out a little more.
And hey, it turned out
What
to be
a
a
fun
really
word.
great game.
What a fun word.
Asynchronous?
I know,
Yes.
right?
Putting that in my
and
back
that's
pocket.
like one of my top games of the year. So I mean, it's not like it was a bad game.
Yeah, it was a really good game.
I think
it
it
was really fun.
surprised people too, especially after Dead Island, which was like a little buggy and maybe not like the best type of thing that they could have done with it.
Mhm.
But like the parkour was just so on point.
Parkour.
Parkour.
Well, I
There you
guess kind of just speaks for itself.
Yeah. There you
Well,
go.
so what are they adding in this one that you
All
know?
right.
I know there's vehicles, right?
Okay, so I'm going to read it right here.
All right.
The expansion will apparently see Kyle Crane travel to a new outbreak area populated by cultists who are somehow tied up in the zombie outbreak.
Okay.
In order to get to the bottom of what's going on, players will need to infiltrate the cult by earning their trust. Optional paths are promised, along with the ability to customize and upgrade your dirt buggy, which will have its own skill tree.
Mad Max.
Wow. Dirt buggy customization.
That's interesting.
steez.
Have you guys played the Bozak Horde DLC?
No, I haven't played any of the
No.
DLC.
Yeah, apparently it's also like one of these things.
Yeah, I had to sell it a couple weeks after it came out, so I got a lot of the core experience, and a lot of
For
the co-op.
Evolve.
but- Was it for Evolve?
Might have been. I think Evolve came out in February. I don't remember.
Anyway,
Well, it's
yeah.
interesting that they're adding cars because I feel like the whole crux of Dying Light is that you're parkour and you're like running everywhere.
aren't
That'd be
they-
like adding cars in Assassin's Creed or
Didn't they-
something.
Didn't
Yeah,
they
they're
add a
adding
new area
carriages.
or no?
Yeah, no, it said it's a brand new area.
Yeah, so it's-
You're right. They are technically adding cars in the new one.
Yeah,
Well,
some
and-
guy from Assassin's Creed is like, damn, why didn't we think of that first, man?
But no, since they're adding a new area, from what I heard, it is
Oh,
very open.
okay,
It's
okay.
very much fieldy and all that. So it's
So it's like the jungle. It's probably gonna be like the jungles in Dying Light or Dead Island.
Okay, got it.
Oh,
man, that place sucked.
hated
I hope
that
the
place.
car handling is like the buggy in Half-Life 2, because that thing was so badass. But then again, you
Just
have a
on
keyboard
point.
and a mouse.
Hopefully, it's not as buggy as Dead Island.
Oh, oh, he killed him. He broke him in half. Call a quarter.
Do the
From out
accent
of
so
nowhere.
well for that.
From out of nowhere. I'm a seasoned Jim Ross consumer. But
My God, never in hell.
oh, spare my soul. Oh, shave me, whack me, and use me as a surfboard. Anyways,
Is he still talking about? Is that when he's commenting?
I don't know, dude.
Nobody knows what he's talking about.
If you got questions, I don't have answers. So
Oh my gosh.
Well, cool. I mean, so
do.
who still has Dying Light?
I do.
Okay.
Wow.
What do you think about? And Chad, actually, okay. So I'll ask you then too. What do you guys think you're going to get the DLC?
Depends on how much it is. I really like Dying
Do we
Light.
have any price? I mean, it's
No,
probably
it-
like
it-
15,
it
right?
just-
yeah,
Shall we?
regular DLC
Shall we
price.
assume it's 15? That's
15 or
because
20?
I'd say probably
15. If it was 10, I'd probably jump on it.
okay.
And is there a release date attached to it at all?
They didn't say anything. No.
Okay, see,
I
here's the
haven't
other thing too: is fall's rolling around, and I don't know if I want to spend money on DLC when I can spend it on new games. So
So assuming it's just talking about that game though, like does that renew your interest in it at least enough to check it out again?
I don't know, a little bit. I mean, I want to look into it more, like see exactly what it offers. But to me, again, like I didn't like that game necessarily for the combat. I liked it because of the parkour. Like that was the best part. So
Yeah.
like having
So
an
just-
area where you drive in cars doesn't really like spark
It
my
kind
interest.
of eliminates your
Maybe
favorite part.
parkouring on trees.
Well, I'm also wondering what the co-op is going to be like with buggies. Are they 1-seaters? Are they 4-seaters?
Right.
Is it,
Everyone has their own buggy.
Yeah,
Yeah, 'cause
I mean,
if,
I
you're,
would
if you're
almost-
rolling around with some guy with an auto cannon on the back of your buggy,
Right.
that might be pretty
that's
badass.
super cool. But if it's 1-seater things and your friends all just have their own buggy, I just feel like that it's like
That might be kind of cool though. Like you're running around like a crew, like we're driving around,
Okay, so
running
the
zombies over.
idea
whatever.
of that,
Into it.
Yeah.
the idea of that, but like really think about it. You're just, I mean, how often are you really going to be? I just feel like the actual execution of it will be awesome for like 5 minutes driving around with your friends, and then it's like.
Okay, I get it. I'm in a buggy.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
like I would rather actually, it's Borderlands, for instance.
Unless they
Like,
add
or-
like buggy-esque, like buggy only missions or like things you do with the buggy, like races or
Mhm.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
tank
Creative
battles.
ways to do it.
Well, it's like if you just make buggies with like really awesome handling, like that in itself can like be fun to play.
Yeah.
So it's like it's all. I don't know. The idea can go either way, but the execution is what makes it or breaks it.
Rocket League.
So,
anyone?
well, real quick, Chad, are you going to buy it?
Easy.
No, not sure. It's kind of similar to
He
Taylor.
shrugged.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, cool.
On the fence.
Wanted to make sure we're not ignoring you. All right. Anything else for that one?
No, I think that's all. I'm a numbers guy, so I was more excited about the sales more
Yeah,
than
the-
the
yeah.
Well, yeah. So you said 5 million. That is actually
That's a
really
lot.
impressive. I would not have guessed that. I would have thought 2, 3 tops.
I mean,
I mean,
the
that's-
appetite for survival horror is real.
Yeah,
apparently.
for sure. I think it was
Yes.
word of mouth.
Yeah.
Like I think it started off like being guys like us, like, well, there's nothing to play, might as well pick it up. And then it was like, oh, this is actually really good. And then they, it was just word of mouth type of thing.
Yeah, I mean the fear in that game is good. Again, I do like the zombie mode. It's a ton of fun. And then other than that, I think I just got so much of that out of my system with Dead Island that it was kind of like
Yeah,
with the combat and with the kind of other stuff besides parkour and the night, that kind of the horror aspect, and then the zombie mode.
yeah.
It just kind of was like the general just hacking your way through zombies. I kind of was like, all right, I've done
You're
this.
done with this? Yeah.
I've done it. It's like I get what's happening. All right, cool.
It's kind of
Let's
me with
move on.
Helldivers. I'm like, oh, I get it now. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun to play with friends, but like once you've done all of it, you're pretty much done.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I didn't like. I missed it in Dying Light from Dead Island is the different areas you go to.
There's definitely a lot more of that.
Yeah, I did like the more tropical. If you took the zone of Dead Island, but gave it the gameplay of Dying Light, I think that'd be perfect. So I love like tropical settings, and this was more like what would you consider? What was that area?
It felt like a
Istanbul? Was that what
It
where
felt
it
like
was
a
or something?
Middle East city.
Yeah, it was very Middle Eastern.
Oh, in Dying Light.
Yeah, in Dying Light.
I thought you
yeah.
were talking about. I'm like, no, that's not Istanbul.
No,
or
it was like
beaches
the
and like
Pacific Islands or something. I don't know.
like cabanas.
Taylor,
And it's,
you're
like-
a goddamn idiot.
Istanbul,
what the
the
hell?
Caribbean. That's the
Yeah.
same area,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, whatever. Alaska, Philippines.
Yeah, same place.
Same
I-
bullshit.
For what it's worth, I don't think I'm going to pick the game back up. I mean, not for the DLC, not for. I don't think anything. I mean, I
got you.
can't think of much that's really going to spark my interest again, unless everyone else, unless if I had 3 friends that were super into playing it, it's like, okay, I'll pick
has
it up
to be
just play
3
with it.
friends.
Well,
Not 1, 3.
Well, even
All right,
no, if
smart
it's
guy.
like 1 or 2, I mean that would still be good. But I mean, if I could get it, and if the co-op was definitely like a thing that's going to happen a lot, that'd be a ton of fun.
And,
I'd probably
it's
pick up for
assured that the co-op is quality. Like,
yeah, and I
worthy of your
know
time
that.
and money.
I know that it is. It's just
Yeah,
if
that's
it's
good.
back up and live with my friends.
I don't mean to
Right,
go on a
right.
tangent, but I think a topic we should have for a future episode is what games that we can do 4-player co-op that are coming out.
Yeah, that'd be
Well,
fun.
Absolutely.
Duly
Put a
noted.
hit in that one.
We'll do that for. We'll do some Co-op Madness for recent games when they come out. That'd be fun. Yeah.
I'm talking stuff like Star Wars Battlefront.
Yeah.
Anyway,
You know what game that you should get back into
Is this a segue?
is Splatoon, apparently.
It's a segue.
Oh yeah.
yeah. So I had kind of just stopped playing Splatoon. Like I had got my like 30 hours, 35 hours, or whatever, and I was done with it. And then 2.0 comes out, changes everything. They have this new mode. It's just basically capture the flag, but with the Splatoon mechanics, which is kind of interesting. And then they like essentially just redesigned all the maps in the game. So I'm like, oh cool, like I'm gonna go to this old level. Oh, it's not the same at all.
So what is different about the levels?
Like there's platforms in places where there weren't platforms. There's slopes where there were like just straight.
Oh.
You said there was a bunch of trees too, right?
Yeah, there's some trees, I suppose. Yeah, but I mean there are, but that's not like
Yeah, I guess. The hell are you talking about?
they're there, but like that's not like the most drastic change. And then they added like all these really.
That's what sold Connor on it, though.
The
Man,
trees.
trees.
I love me a good tree. But they're like they added a bunch of new levels too that I haven't. I don't know if they added for 2.0 or I just haven't played and that's what they've added in the meantime. But there's this one level. It's like literally like your bases are on opposite sides, and then it's literally just a zigzag to the other person's base. But it's like a sloping downward zigzag. So like you can jump off like these super high levels
And fly for days.
Yeah, it's very vertical.
Sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like they really are trying some new stuff.
They're keeping up on it. Sounds like really.
And it's all free too. That's the insane thing. They're not charging for any
that's
of
not
this.
Splatoon though. That's Nintendo. That's just
Yeah.
that's what they
Right.
do. They're really good with DLC.
Mhm.
I mean, absolutely. Whether if it's
Like,
free or not,
Yeah,
it's,
Mario Kart was killer. It's like, are you kidding? Like 16 tracks for like $12
Yeah,
or whatever it
yeah,
was. Like that's
absolutely.
ridiculous. And new characters and anyway. And then for me personally, like you guys probably won't care about this, but there's this anime I watched called Squid Girl, and they added like character skins from the anime into Splatoon because like the
Oh,
creator
yeah.
of the anime like really likes the game or something.
I remember there was
It's
a
like-
lot of art from the creator of Squid Girl who was like posting it all over
Yeah.
at first when it first came out of the Inklings and Squid Girl.
Yeah.
Does she have a name or something?
That, that's her name.
it's
Squid,
Squid
Girl. Yeah.
Anyway, but like he was putting out a lot of art, of that kind of stuff. So I remember there was a lot of talk about possible DLC for it. So I didn't know that it happened though. That's
Yeah.
They just put it in.
Yeah,
Like,
they
yeah,
just
sure,
add-
dude. You want your stuff to be in the game? Oh, here you go.
Well,
Sweet.
I think a lot of people were like, I wonder if they'll put it in the American version because like nobody knows what that is, but they did. And it's something you can win, like buy from the shops, like anything else. So,
So just like a little
Cool.
peripheral, like here you go, little nugget.
yeah, like people, some nerds like me will love it, eat it up. So, yeah, I mean it's cool. I'm really getting my value out of it. And I hope more companies take note. Like if you're gonna do DLC, do it like the right way. Like here's how you do it. And it seems like Nintendo hadn't done a new IP in a really long time, so this is kind of like a cool thing to be like, hey, we're gonna try this new thing, see what happens. And I feel like it's really paid off. Like it continues to really sell in Japan. Here's an interesting thing: I follow the Japan sales charts every week, and it jumped after the 2.0 update. It like jumped up like an extra 30% in sales. They sold like an extra
Oh, wow.
30,000 after the new
Wow.
update, which is crazy.
30,000 is no joke.
Did
No.
they market about 2.0 very much?
Nope.
I mean, I didn't
maybe
see,
in Japan.
I
like-
haven't heard much about
Yeah.
2.0. Like, so if I was, some random consumer who has not played Splatoon, I haven't purchased it before.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go out there like, 2.0 is coming out. Hell yeah! Now I wasn't sold before, but now
Yeah.
they got my money.
Right.
Well, now
It's like,
they
seems
also-
like kind of I don't know, arbitrary. You know?
They
It's
also
like-
have private matches.
Exactly. You can finally have private
Right,
lobbies.
right.
Before, you just would have to like hope and pray that you get in with your friends, but now you have like lobbies
Yeah, that
you can set up.
sucked, man. That
yeah,
was like
they didn't have that.
Yeah,
well,
I know.
so no, you could play with your friends, but it was like you couldn't. You could never sit in a lobby. It's like you're either searching for a match or you are in the game hub,
Okay.
and so then you can only join your friends when they're in a match.
And there's a spot that opens
So-
up. Yeah,
so-
it's
Oh,
weird.
so
if I
someone
wanted
would
to-
get into a game and then you just join right
Well,
immediately.
but
Yeah,
but the thing
more
is
or
that
less.
the games would start immediately after you got into the lobby. So like, let's say I want to play with Taylor. Okay, so Taylor, we both turn it on at the same time. We're both ready to go at the exact same time. It's not
Right.
like he's been waiting on me or anything.
Okay.
So then he starts up with the lobby, and I go into my friends list, and it says, okay, he's available to join. So I press A immediately, but his game has already locked in because it already has enough members.
So you're just locked out.
It's not even like it's just that popular. It's just that it only starts once there's enough. So then,
so it's really hard to play with your friends.
well, no, because then you just have to wait. until his match is done, and then it'll put me into that lobby if someone leaves.
Yeah, that's
It's-
way too more
It's
complicated
weird.
than it
yeah,
needs to be.
it's like
Yeah,
there's
bizarre.
so just get a freaking lobby. Like any,
Yeah,
it's
seriously.
really easy. Yeah,
Do what every other game does. Like, come on.
Seriously.
And now
Well, they added it though.
They added it, which is good. And yeah, and like I was saying, I think because so many Japanese people have bought the game, like that's all I see. I'll go to a lobby and it's like,
I was watching you play, and you were the only English name.
Yeah, it
Everyone
was
else
all
is just
Japanese.
Japanese characters.
yeah, it was crazy. I'm glad that there's at least people to play with, but I guess it didn't take off in America as much as it did in Japan. I don't know, but
Well, it did at the beginning, but
I'm enjoying it. The summer is the perfect type of. This is the perfect type of game for me because it's like I don't have a lot of time or I just don't want to dedicate dive in. So it's like I'll play a couple quick games, 15, 20 minutes, then I'm done.
Right.
So
It's a quick romp.
yep. So
But-
I'm happy with it.
Apparently, you were really enjoying it though, because when we were all at my brother in your house the other day, there's like a dozen people hanging out. I don't mean to put you on blast, but you're sitting in the corner playing Splatoon.
Oh, yeah.
by your goddamn self.
This was after we had all.
Yeah, we were hanging out before, but
Yeah.
I was like, man, the game, it looked really fun, actually. That was the first time I'd watched you play it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's,
have you
it is
never
fun.
seen Splatoon gameplay before?
No, I have, but it's the
Oh,
first time
okay.
I'd watched someone physically in front of me
Oh,
playing
I
the
see.
game.
Okay, I was gonna say like it is fun. It's definitely a good game to pick up. I just
I just don't have a Wii U, so
yeah.
sorry.
Don't bother. There's not enough games. It's not worth it.
Right. Well,
Unless you get like a
that's-
mega discount.
That's why I didn't buy it.
But
that's another story.
the most pressing question is: are you a kid?
Oh,
my God.
No,
Yeah.
shut up. No,
God.
Nick. No, you're done.
This is why we
Oh my
bring
God.
other people to this podcast so we can slowly phase you out.
Phase me out of my own podcast.
Jake looks like legitimately like.
It's just
upset.
like
He's
we've
just like,
we've passed this point in our lives. Like it's been done.
I
with.
had
We're
to do
backtracking.
it. I had to do
You
it.
did not have to do
yeah,
it.
I
Nick.
had to. It was required.
You guys hash that out over here. I'm just gonna
put a curtain up.
I can't take
Yes,
any more of
Chad?
this bullshit.
I have no idea what's going on.
All right.
Neither do we. Neither do we.
I just know that Taylor used to say it all the time, so I just
Yep.
said it to him.
Can we kick you out of the podcast now?
Nick's just
No.
trolling. Nick's just trolling. We're too susceptible to his trollage.
This is all okay.
What
Yeah,
else
you,
do we
you
have?
guys could host the podcast, but I'm taking my equipment with me.
All right. What else we got then?
I was just kidding.
All right. So next thing is PlayStation Experience was announced
Mm-hmm.
December 5th and 6th in San Francisco,
Love it.
and
Where
that
I
means
now
we're all
live.
going.
Yeah. And you can all crash in my house in San Francisco. Just kidding. I don't have enough room to
It's okay.
put you up.
It's all right. It's in San Francisco.
It's just me, man. I get it.
You guys can stay, but him, no dice.
Yeah. No. I mean, it's close enough. We can make the drive. It's no problem.
No
but yeah,
drive.
we'll
It's gonna be
couch
so
riding.
fun, though, dude.
whatever.
Take
We
the
will be
train.
there for both days. It's going to be awesome. We're going to try and get some interviews if we can, get as much exclusive stuff so that you guys can feel like you're right there with us. It'll be fun. It's going to be awesome.
I'm excited.
Going to be a lot of new reveals and scoops and things.
Where did this
Do
thing
some
about
real-
interviews come from? I'm just gonna play Street Fighter 5.
There you go.
I don't know what you're doing.
Well, you
do
can
that.
hang out in there, and we'll go run your podcast.
We'll, we'll do stuff.
You'll do my work.
Yeah. But I'm excited to be like, hopefully, the way I envision it, like walking around with a camcorder, a microphone, and
Right.
asking people questions and bugging the hell out of them.
Well,
and
that is certainly our goal. So
Yeah.
we will
And-
try
Bug
and
out
make
of
that
hell.
happen.
Bug out of hell,
all
people.
for the total purpose of making sweet new content for you. So
Oh yeah.
hopefully that pans out, and we'll keep you updated as that progresses in the future.
I'm excited about it. What do you think is gonna be shown there?
I think people are strongly hinting at the new God of War because they did the remaster.
Wait, you say the new God of War?
Yeah.
Like
There's
as if
going to
it's
be-
already been announced and they're going to talk about it?
yeah.
They
Or
said- they said
a new
that
God
they're-
of War, like it's just it
Right.
might
well,
happen.
last year they more or less were like, yes, we're working on a new God of
Oh,
War.
okay. I just hadn't heard that.
Yeah,
so, okay.
no, that's
Yeah.
fine.
He's
But-
got the inside nose,
Um,
fancy guy. Over
But then
here.
they also like you don't do a remaster if you're not going to do a sequel.
right.
You know, like the whole they
'Cause
re-release.
you're
it.
rehyping it.
So
Right.
you're not supporting the franchise without continuing the franchise.
Yeah, they'd be like, let's release like I don't know, Legend of Dragoon HD for like no reason, and you know what I mean? Like they wouldn't do that unless there was gonna be another Legend of Dragoon.
Like,
Like
who would buy that?
me,
just because? Oh, I know we would, but we're a very special breed of sad people,
Yeah.
Britt Taylor. So
So my point is that I feel like they are doing that PS4. They did the PS4 remaster of 3 because there's going to be a new God of War, and they've been teasing stuff for like the PlayStation experience, like on Sony Santa Monica's like Twitter feed and stuff. So I'm like, all right, you're just like they're saying it without saying it. I feel like.
the God of War HD remaster is kind of like them turning the God of War pipeline back on.
Right. Like Sony Santa Monica has been this weird studio for like a number of years where they haven't really made games. They've like helped other people make games, like Journey and like Unfinished Swan.
Yeah, I was
and
going to say, I
PlayStation
thought it was
All-Stars
Journey,
and stuff.
but Journey was made by that game company.
Yeah, so they're like this.
I do
weird-
know the name of it, by the way. It's not. Yeah.
They're like mercenaries.
That's literally what.
Are they like mercenaries?
I mean, they make games, but for whatever reason, Sony has delegated them to be like this helper outer studio for some reason. I don't know.
To make sure
They're
it's
Sony's-
quality.
They're like Sony's Rare.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, no, they like
This
don't.
just random little side studio that they are still making them do work, but just
We're a
on
thing.
weirdest little. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like
No, well, I mean, they're not like. I don't really know how to describe them because it's not like they made those games. They're just like helping people make those games because they released God of War Ascension on PS3 and then they themselves did this remaster. So anyway, my point, I'm getting way off topic, but God of War is what I think they're going to announce there.
okay.
So God of War 4.
Yeah.
Is he going to be fighting Jesus?
I know, like they're like who is seriously? He like literally killed everybody.
Can you just see that?
It's just like him impaling Jesus on his own sharpened cross. It's like, oh
I'm
God.
thinking. So I haven't.
As like brutal death metal plays in the background.
So I haven't played through them. Is there time travel yet? Because if not, I'm calling time travel for the next one.
No, what a lot of people are surmising is that it's
Book
going to
it.
be Norse mythology gods, like a different set of gods, not like Greek mythology.
He got so tired of kicking all the Greek gods' asses.
Exactly.
He had to waltz on over into another culture.
Kill
And
Thor.
So like, yeah, Thor. I think that's what it might be like. Because seriously, like, I mean, what could you possibly do?
That is a
Why is
large
he angry
enough
at
set.
these guys?
because he's Kratos.
Plot predictions before the game is ever announced. Kratos dies. Fuck Kratos because it's like he just kills anything and everything. It's
Yeah.
like it takes all the drama away from the game.
Yeah,
right?
no,
It's
like that's what a lot of people feel like that he's not like an interesting character. He's just like angry for the sake
right.
of being angry.
Like in the old, I don't know if anyone's read this, but the old Dragon Ball manga where it's like it's all about like Son Goku's adventures, and he literally every bad guy that comes across, he just whoops their ass, like easily, like, and it's like I don't know. There's no drama, you know. It's like you
Yeah.
gotta. There has to be
Till the
some
end-
kind of
till the
challenge,
end
you
of
know.
it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, Kratos, he's beaten and broken, but you know, in the end, like he's gonna kill the guy and be the guy killer.
yeah, the guy.
I
Killer.
mean, it's like
It
it's all-
makes
it's
it
what
makes
happens every
sense.
time.
The
It
guy
makes sense
killer.
in
The
the
guy
first
killer.
one. The first one, it makes sense, but
Yeah.
then
Right.
he's just always angry after that.
and then it just got.
I avenged him, but
So you want to be the guy that goes up to him and be like, dude, get over it.
Yeah,
You want to be that guy?
yeah.
Kratos.
It was like 10 years ago, man.
I think that's what
Yeah.
that's what everyone is seeing. Like in the game universe, all the different characters are looking like. I mean, I'm not saying that to him. Like,
Sit down next to Kratos.
You go calm him down.
Okay, dude, we get it. You're badass, dude. But could you just chill
stop?
out for
Yeah.
a while? Just take like 2 weeks, man. A little sabbatical. I mean, you're really wearing us all out, man. Jeez.
For real.
Have you ever watched the voice actor play Kratos?
No.
It's hilarious.
Is he like really good into it?
Yes, he's like he looks like really angry and everything like that, and he gets really into the
That's
role.
funny.
I feel like that's exactly what you need for that.
Yeah, because when he's breathing, he's like, and it's like he's like shaking and everything. It's like, jeez, man.
you just scared me right now with your shaking intensity.
Yeah. So, what about you guys? What do you think will be announced? So, this is in December. This is after all the fall games have come out. You know,
And this is after the Paris.
Paris Games
Game-
Week. That's
Games
true.
Week.
Yeah, I don't wonder if anything's going to come of that. But-
With the amount of insight I possess, I mean, the best I could wager is a guess. So, like, your guesses would probably like be more rooted in.
Probably not going to be Warcraft 4, Connor. Come on.
Well, he asked me what I thought was going to be announced, man. Only one thing came to my mind.
Speaking of Warcraft 4,
you know where I stand.
Oh yeah,
that link you sent.
Yeah, that's right. So actually, just a quick little. Did you see that link?
They all laughed at me. They all laughed at me.
Yeah.
Now I laugh at you.
So for context, Blizzard said, what was it after World? No,
StarCraft 2.
after StarCraft
StarCraft
2,
2.
they said they may revisit Warcraft to make Warcraft 4. That's
they may revisit a Warcraft RTS. Was like the way it was.
Yeah.
said,
Is that
right?
what? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They
Well,
didn't specifically say 4. Yeah.
Oh man.
well, okay.
Well,
The,
you can just
the slightly thawed chair.
Yeah.
Just put me in a just freeze me and wake me up in a when it's
just
out.
chalk up another victory for this guy right
Of
here.
course.
Even though it's just
No,
rumor
if
and
it-
hearsay.
If it is, because what was your idea? If you
It's in the
like a
future.
month ago,
Yeah,
it was
well,
it
you
was
just
like
advanced the
far in
timeline.
future. If it is that, I'm gonna lose my shit, dude. Because
I
you
know.
called it.
It's
such a good-
documented,
Such a good storyline, though. I'm
It's-
serious.
locked up.
Yep. Is that what that is?
I was doing like the
the key. In the-
padlock. I'm not good at charades.
No, it's this, right?
Okay. Anyway,
So PlayStation.
Dark Horse PlayStation All Stars 2 gets announced.
That's what I was gonna say.
Piece of shit.
All right.
Sorry, go ahead.
No,
I was totally.
I was
being
gonna say
sarcastic.
Capcom and Sony are kind of like this right now. So do you expect?
See these two hands? What are they doing? They're washing each other.
Yeah, they're washing each other. They're all like, yes, we're buddy.
So
What do you think?
High
Do
point
you
of the
think-
podcast
do you
right
think,
there, guys.
Do you think a new Mega Man?
Ooh, that'd be badass.
I
Don't
mean,
tease yourselves,
that
guys.
would be so cool. But we know the track record. We know the history. We know what will not happen, and it is that.
It is
Very well said.
Yeah.
But it's also, it really is indicative of your protective inner soul.
I've been defeated.
Yeah.
My
Well, you've been taught. You've
Yeah,
been taught to be
exactly.
pessimistic.
It's
not your
Stockholm
fault.
syndrome, man.
Yeah.
It's
Yep.
just.
Yep.
Well, all right.
All right.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's not going to happen. I mean, if they announced a Mega Man game, I'd be like, cool. And until I saw it sitting on a shelf in plastic, I wouldn't believe it. So
Yeah, I still don't believe there's a Final Fantasy VII remake. That was a dream.
there isn't, as
No.
far as I'm concerned.
That
Taylor.
could actually be shown
Taylor. Not until we see it sitting on
true.
the shelf.
It's true.
there on your shelf.
On my
Yeah,
The
on
gaming
your-
shelf.
the gaming
gaming
shelf.
Taylor's shelf?
Subscribe.
Oh, wait, that's better. Yeah.
Shameless self-promotion.
All right. You know what I want to play? I hope it's there.
Oh.
Doom.
Oh, of
Dude.
course. Well,
I'm just talking about Doom.
I'm kidding.
But
Crash Bandicoot 4.
that'd be cool.
I mean, I'm not mad.
yeah, I'm not really mad.
They've been having
Maddie's
rumors.
all saying Persona 5 over there.
Oh yeah, man.
Parappa the Rapper 3,
Ooh man, there was a weird medieval tease. That
soundtrack by Young Thug and Gucci Mane.
I really-
amazing.
You were joking about PlayStation All Stars 2. I really hope it's there.
I think there's I actually think there is a possibility for it, and I think it is not solely. I think a lot of it is going to be due to Towerfall Ascension's success. I think it's that and games like it that have been so popular on PlayStation 4, and a lot of these indie PS4 games have been getting popular. These 4-player co-op things.
I
mean,
still play Towerfall all the time.
yeah, so I really feel like people they must have noticed that. I feel like they can't just not do anything with that trend.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, PlayStation All Stars. What is it? Why am I forgetting?
Yeah,
the name?
PlayStation All Stars.
Yeah, okay. I thought it was like Battle something. Or
Battle
is that,
Royale,
Yeah, Battle. Okay,
Yeah, that's
It's
the
a really
it's
dumb
the
long
suffix.
name.
Anyway,
Yeah.
but like I feel like they've already set this up. They already have a good battle system for it. I mean, honestly, it's really good. I like how it's not flying off the screen. It's you have to with the special
Yeah, they
effects.
made an effort with differentiating.
I just
it.
think it's already there. I don't know why they wouldn't. Frankly, it makes.
Well,
sense.
I mean, the first one really did tank. Like, did
It
it
sold
not?
like
Yeah,
a million
right.
copies, but that wasn't enough.
Yeah.
But it seems like the way they were putting it out is like they wanted it to be a
A
new
big thing.
They
Yeah,
wanted,
of course.
they wanted
yeah.
to be the PlayStation Smash.
But like you said, like the menus were just like they were just
like,
trash.
They
Those
didn't have enough
lines.
time to like really polish it and like put the cool finishing touches on it. And I think another problem with the game is that the art style was like all over the place. Like in Smash, like all the characters like look the same ish.
And,
There's a unified style. Like in Disney Infinity, there's
But
a unified
there's still
style.
like variations between characters from different games while still keeping true to a cohesive style.
Right, but
Well,
in PlayStation All Stars, it was like just take the model from this game and this game and this game and just throw it
and
together,
I'm-
and nothing looks
Uh-huh.
cohesive.
even Heroes of the Storm, which is, I mean, I think that's a good one as well. It's all of the different characters. They all kind of are a little bit similar. They're characterized,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like it's caricaturized.
They did a hell of a job with that.
Yeah, but like, I mean, Raynor looks really weird, I think, honestly. He's got
Yeah.
like way too big of hands. I mean, I know they have big head, the Marines have like those extended hand things, but like, even for a Marine, I mean, he was just like really out of proportion. But it's because everyone is in that. I mean, yeah,
Right.
like you look at Diablo's hooves. Good God, it's like it's things like that. I mean, it's
Thanks for noticing.
yeah.
But yeah, I'd love to see that. Right characters though.
Well, here's what's interesting,
Yeah,
right?
Better,
The-
more better characters.
Yeah, because add that dart.
Yeah,
Dart. Well,
exactly.
here's the problem.
The
I
homie.
think like the traditional PlayStation All-Star, like really the PlayStation All-Stars that everybody was hoping would be in there weren't, like Cloud and Crash Bandicoot and Spyro.
Well,
and
it's such a huge stable of awesome characters.
Right, and I know I feel like why it might be possible is now Sony and Activision are sort of like in bed with each other because like they're doing all the Destiny and all the Call of Duty DLC first on PS4, and also with Square Enix because Final Fantasy VII is going to be a PS4 exclusive for a certain period of time or whatever, so they could theoretically have Cloud and Crash and Spyro.
Barrett.
Maybe. I mean, he's not as iconic as Cloud.
I know, but it'd just be cool to have a guy with a gun.
Yeah,
on.
of course.
Keep the mashing of the levels, but they need to have the history thing like they do with Smash.
Yeah, I think
The history thing?
like
What
they
is
have like all old characters, like the lineage
trophies
of characters.
and, like,
It
all the
represents like
music.
all generations of Nintendo's games.
that? Oh, I see. So just kind of add
Respecting
all
the old
add all the
classics.
fluff that Super Smash has.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
add that extra little padding.
You don't have to do
okay.
like as
Yeah, I
robust as Smash, but you know.
I agree.
because
though.
they
Yeah,
have
having-
the resources to really expand that, but these guys are starting basically from scratch again, so
Yeah.
they wouldn't have that luxury.
So I really hope that's there. So if we do meet Shuhei Yoshida,
Mhm.
that's a question we're going to ask him.
PS All Stars
Before or after we mug him. I'm just kidding. I don't even know who that is.
Oh, he's like one of the presidents of PlayStation. He
the
worked.
Worldwide Studios.
Gotcha.
He worked on Legend of Dragoon.
Yeah, he was the producer on Legend of Dragoon.
Wow.
He's a
Yeah.
cool
Well,
guy.
should have
What
hired a
about
better
you?
translator.
Yeah.
Dude, I got nothing. I'm so bad at foresight with this
Yeah.
kind of stuff. I don't like. I can't. And also, I still am relatively like a new PlayStation guy.
That's
you
true.
know, I mean, I never had a PlayStation 1, 2, or 3. I never had a PSP.
Man.
I had a broken
crazy?
one.
I
Like,
know,
well,
right?
it was like it was Nintendo for me all growing
Right,
up.
it's
And
just
then
like
I got
exactly two divergent paths.
and then I got a 360, maybe a year after that came out, right? And then I was like pretty heavily into 360, and
right,
then
entrenched at that point.
yeah, and then I got a PS4 and an Xbox One and all this. So like, you know, but I've really that's been my path there. I mean, I haven't done a lot of that stuff.
It's kind of weird because his path is like exact opposite of ours. It's Nintendo and Mac, and ours is PlayStation and PC.
yeah, actually, that's a lot like it.
Hey,
So
takes all kinds.
You turned out fine.
thanks. Maybe that's why I'm the positive one. I'm like the yahoo, you know, like the.
Oh, that was a very positive sound.
Thank you. It was a little loud.
Yeah, it was. So
Didn't control it completely there.
You know.
I'm super excited for PlayStation Experience. It's gonna be really fun.
We should
What-
do that in all of our interviews at PlayStation Experience. Like,
So-
okay, we're here at PlayStation All Star Experience.
Yeah,
you
that's
know?
every time.
The guys we're interviewing just looking at us like, the hell is wrong with you?
We just really want PlayStation All Stars too. But all right, so now let's get on to Jake's topic. I'm actually going to leave. We're going to introduce our new member right now.
With the magic
So,
of editing,
with the
right?
magic of editing, I'll be gone in like a second.
Do I have to clap?
Hey, Chad, how's it going?
Pretty good.
So this is Chad. He's been my friend for a while. He's now part of LHG. He's gonna be okay. So he's now everybody's friend. But at any rate,
Niner fans.
We're not starting this now. We're not
It'll
talking
never
about
end.
football on the LHG podcast
Oh, but it's
because
a game.
blood will be shed.
yeah, no, we're just talking about NHL.
Madden.
Yeah,
Come
as
on.
Niners
Madden.
fans, we wish you a
NHL?
very,
Why did I say
we
Shut
wish you a
up.
very
Hockey
happy
joke.
welcome
Fruitful
to our podcast.
Yeah.
Very friendly, happy,
Thanks, guys.
very sportsmanlike welcome to you.
But yeah, so if you guys remember
Appreciate it.
about so 2 episodes ago we had Chris on the show. Last week we had Maddie join us, and then we have Chad. So these are the 3 new members for our crew. You'll be seeing their names around just in the future.
What?
Now you at least know who they are and all that.
The LHG team,
So
assemble!
so Chad, you're going to be helping with what? You're going to be writing some once we get that going eventually, maybe someday. You're going to be helping with videos, some podcast stuff, editing, all that. So you're just going to be kind of. Is that right? Am I missing things?
Looking to do some streaming too.
Oh yeah, yeah,
course.
absolutely.
Of So basically, just helping us increase the volume and quality of content that we put out.
I'm good at volume.
All right. I'm sorry. Could you?
What?
Much better. Much better.
Okay, so right. So I have a topic. I have 2 topics. First one is going to be The Flock. Anyone know about The Flock?
Nope.
Okay, I'm
Of
actually
seagulls?
No. It's a game coming out called The Flock. I'm actually really excited about this. So
Is this like that pigeon dating sim at all?
it is not.
That
no,
was
that's
a Hatoful boyfriend.
Hatoful boyfriend. So The Flock. okay, so the Flock is coming out very soon on the 21st, and it's going to cost $16, I believe. And
It's an oddly priced game. It's
Yeah.
not
I think-
15.
You know,
it's
random.
no, I think.
It'll be 1643.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm sorry. It's not 16. It is 16.99. Sorry about that.
$17. Okay.
So
That's bizarre.
I know it's a little weird, but it is going to be as far as I can tell, it's an asynchronous multiplayer game. So it's like there's one person playing as a human, and then there's a bunch of some sort of monsters on the other team, and they're all trying to kill the human, and the human's just trying to stay alive for as long as possible. So it's like reverse evolve, and as soon as one of the monsters kills the human, then they become the human or something. The actual details I'm fuzzy on as far as the gameplay, but it's not the gameplay that I'm interested in. It is mainly because after so on the servers of the game, once players have died 215,358,979 times, then the game is done. The servers shut off and everything. It's entirely unplayable forever. And
Weird.
so
That's an interesting concept.
Yeah.
The more people that buy the game, the faster the clock runs out.
Exactly. And so that
Yeah.
also means that
Don't buy the
it's a
game.
finite amount of time that you have to play. You're paying $16.99 for a limited time game, so you can't play it for very long.
So it's like the first game where instead of being like, "Yo, guys, there's a sick new game I've been playing," you just don't tell a soul,
Right? Yeah, so-
you're
so-
like, "No, it's mine."
Well, now, so I was I was reading up on it. I was trying to figure out why the hell would they do this. One, it's got to be for a bit of PR, right?
Yeah, just be different.
Just it's getting attention. I'm talking about it now for that reason.
Yep.
And two, they were saying it's because multiplayer games die. They kind of peter out, and I'm in total agreement with Halo 3, for example. It just you can still play it now, but I mean even years ago when it was still more popular, after like 3 or 4 years of that game, its popularity had lessened, and it was all catering to the hardcore fans that were still playing it. And if you're kind of a more casual player and you decide to go back and play because you loved it the first few weeks,
Inaccessible.
well, because it's so it's like the SWAT game mode where there's no shields and headshots will kill you instantly. There's all the things with no radar. You always start with the precision weapons. It's things like that it is catered to the more hardcore audience. So the Flock specifically didn't want that to happen, and so
Interesting.
then they wanted it to just be a single awesome experience that will exist in memories more than actual gameplay.
Huh.
I'm just curious, what do you guys think? I mean, are there any big comments?
I'm very intrigued by the idea. I'm not gonna lie. Like I just my first thought is that whoever had the idea, like, I give them kudos for like selling it to people who will give them money to make the game,
Yeah.
and like going through with it and like making this his project. This really, I don't know,
It's
really
good or bad. It's at least an idea.
It's a unique idea, and it's like it's very rarely that you can get burned by just someone being really out there and creative. Like, so I don't know.
Well,
Should be interesting.
I don't really like paying for memories.
Well, yeah. So
So
that's
usually I pay to erase my memories, with like alcohol or other types of narcotics.
I think we're gonna get along great.
Yeah.
well. What was I going to say? Oh, totally lost it. Anyway, but
New tangent.
yeah, I know. Sorry. Taylor, Chad, anything like that? Oh, I was going to say like food, things like that. I mean, food is definitely. I mean,
If you don't eat that, you die.
well, I know, but I'm saying it's overall. You're paying for something that's
temporary.
Yeah, it's a temporary thing, right? It's like it's things like that. So why can't that same mentality go towards video games?
so it's like
I
a
think it
real
does.
tasty dish.
I think it does go. I mean, the fact is, it's like Black Ops. I mean, the community probably isn't as good, but I can still play it if I want to,
Right.
But this game goes away. I can never go back and play it, and I spent that money, and it's gone.
Well, yeah, and I think it's just kind of a difference in how, I guess, how you look at it, because we're so used to you buy the rights for the game, right? You buy the right to play it, whereas this one it's almost kind of like a physical copy of something, right? Where it can be lost and then it's done. Like you don't own it. You don't deserve a new digital copy whenever
you
want.
lost it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So it's something like that where it's potentially perishable goods, right?
Uh-huh.
I mean, what do you think, Taylor?
I don't know. It's an interesting idea. It depends on how well they execute it. I'm like, what if like nobody plays it?
Exactly.
Then it's like, well, who
Sure.
cares?
What
you
if
know?
it's a bad game? Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
It's one person died, like 8 million
So
of
what
those.
is the gameplay like? What kind of game is this? I don't know if
Again, well, I think it is going to be. So look at Evolve. It's match based, and then it's.
Oh, it's a monster. Okay.
Yeah, but I believe again. I don't know if I'm just fuzzy on the details or if the details are just fuzzy, but
Is it like a shooter or like a third person? Like
I-
we're jumping around melee? Okay,
I can't tell you.
Okay,
But it's mainly the actual. Like, I'm not too interested in the gameplay, right? It's like it's kind of all right, cool.
It's a fun talking point.
But
though.
yeah, exactly. And I don't know. I was just curious. I wanted to see what you guys thought.
I'd be interested in like the story behind why that many deaths.
But that one in particular,
yeah, that's a very
Yeah, it's
specific
like
number.
1,977,459.
They said something. Well, so the full. I'm not going to go in the whole number, but it's 215 million and then more.
Uh-huh.
But it's something like, where was it? It was they.
Some specific
I don't think I can
server
find it, but
cost or something.
At any rate, yeah, they said something about like that's the average amount before a game starts to peter off as well. They took something, and then it also has like some different meanings if I recall. But it's like there's a lot of theories about the number. But I think that's another. If a lot of this is based on just hey, it's different. Talk about us. A specific number like that would kind of add to it because exactly it makes people ask why.
Well, case in
Right.
point, we're here talking about it.
Yeah,
Speaking of which, next topic, I feel as though
I know.
we've
Sorry,
explored
we've been
this one.
ranting a lot. Okay, so then the other one is, so with Destiny: The Taken King, when you buy a copy of that, you're actually going to be given it's one code per account, so you can't like give it to your friends or anything like that.
Mhm.
But every account that purchases it will be able to level one of their characters to 34 instantly.
Which
And-
in that game, for those who don't know, is very high, right?
well, that's currently the max level, but as soon as Taken King comes out, it's gonna what is it? Is it 40?
40.
Okay, so it is gonna be 40, and they said that the level cap, like it will put you in a perfect position or
to play the new
to
content.
play the new content. Yeah, so
Okay.
it's like
So it's a complete facsimile of what they did for War of the Draenor with the level 90 boost. So
Yeah.
just making sure.
yeah, so it's something like that. So
Because in War of the Draenor, I mean, they did the same thing. For those who don't know, they just
I'm
gave
not gonna-
every person who bought the game a free one free level 90 boost.
I'm
And
not
then-
gonna rant quite yet, but I will just say I don't like this.
You earlier used the word irate.
Irate.
And that's-
I am-
It's a
I am
strong,
irate about
strong
it, but-
choice.
That is a word.
but I know
that's strong.
Chad, this is going to be fun, I think. So Chad, please
All right.
go.
So I've been reading a lot about this, and honestly, I can say I think it took me 5 hours to get level 20
Mm-hmm.
on Destiny.
Really?
If that. Like, I mean, it is really, really short. And as an experienced MMO player, the game doesn't start until you get to the max level anyways. I've never seen a problem with having that token because it's like, okay, yeah, they get to level 90, they get to level, 34, so what?
Well, isn't the argument that time you spent leveling, you should be learning the basics and the mechanics of the game so that you know them by the time you get to that level?
That's
That is a good
That
point.
Which
is
will
an
inundate the
argument.
game with a bunch of like crappy noobs who just bought it.
Which is awesome for me.
Oh, because you get to feast on their slaughtered remains.
Yes, their
Okay.
souls.
Yeah, I understand now why you're excited.
and so I think that is an argument. Yeah, you should be learning the basics and all that, right? But I mean, how long does it really take to? It doesn't. It's not
From
actually
1
going
to
to take.
90
different
in World
for
of
everybody.
Warcraft would take forever.
Long.
I feel
Different.
like.
It's different for everybody. I mean, like someone who's a seasoned gamer, not saying I'm like some hardcore gamer, but like,
okay,
I could
yeah.
probably pick up Destiny and like learn how the game works really freaking fast.
Yeah,
but if someone's newer to games and they buy it, like it'll probably take them a while because they're learning like game mechanics that they haven't seen in other games like I have.
Well, and my only counter argument to that is like the PvP in the game. It doesn't matter when you start. Like you can just hop into it and you start playing. You're going to suck for a while. Everyone is going to do that, and you're going to affect the people that are experienced. Anyways, it doesn't matter. If they jump in at 34, if they jump in at 40.
So you're saying the balance will always like come to a wash no matter what,
there's going to be crappy players on your team.
right? No matter what, whether there's a boot level boost or not.
Well, what I would say
True.
about this is that for somebody that does want to get into it, particularly about Destiny, grinding from 20 to 34 is a real bitch because it's not purely just doing the content, it's getting the light, which is all random drops, and that's like totally unpredictable.
Why don't you say that one? This one, Chad.
So
Right.
they are changing the way that's all working.
Okay.
Everything is going to be linear. Like pretty much everything you do in the game is going to get you experience, get you
Cool.
light levels. They're changing the way the drops are working.
Well, light levels no longer
yeah, it's,
Exist?
I mean, there's
So-
light on equipment now.
What does
but
that
it's on
do?
everything. It's
all
just,
all it is indicative. It actually light levels don't actually change anything about the game. They don't make you more powerful, but it is indicative of your power. So if you have a hugely high, you could like you experiences all the level stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So you can get to the max level and still have a really low light level, and then but you'll just be weaker than people with better gear, and then
Sure.
therefore they have a higher light level, and so
Got-
it's kind
okay,
of
that makes
it's
sense.
a good way to see
It's
the
like
level
your
of their gear.
DPS or
I got
your
you. It's like
weapon
it's
level
like
or
it's
whatever.
item
how it
level.
is now.
Yeah.
but that's not how it's going to be. Like light is your combat effectiveness,
Right.
but they're putting it on everything.
Was
now.
it just like a mass quotient that it just calculates together all your different factors?
Sort of. I mean, it raised your combat level, so you hit enemies harder. You could hit equal level enemies or higher level enemies a little bit harder. Like if you had light level 30 and you're fighting light level 34 guys, like you're gonna do no damage.
Right. So it sounds
Well-
very WoW in
well,
that
no,
respect,
don't-
where it scales down and up.
And what is that? Last I played WoW, it was actually just a really popular add-on that was like gear level or something. What's it called?
Item level, yeah,
combat
it's an
rating-
official part of the game now. Item
Okay.
level, it basically just prorates all your gear and gives you a number. It's like this is how good
It's
your gear
sort of
is.
different than that because this like combat rating was your effective stats like combined. Like every item was weighted a certain way.
Mhm.
Light level was actually like you have a certain amount of light, you hit harder, like all
Okay.
your damage, and you take less damage. Like it was like
Oh, so it
defense and
actually
attack
affects your
power.
stats.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
But they're kind of removing that. They're not. I mean, it's
Well, right. So now it's just indicative of
yeah.
the,
I mean, everything has light level, so like you will get light level no matter what you're doing. Like you don't have to raid for certain equipment. Like something will drop, it'll have light level, it'll be better than your current stats, and that's about it.
All right. Yeah. So to summarize, light level doesn't mean you're more powerful. It just
Well, sort of. I mean,
yeah.
it does mean you're more powerful. It
I'm
will.
having such a hard time.
So
speaking.
either way, so
Sorry.
they're kind of. It sounds like they're kind of just simplifying it.
They
Yes.
are,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
they're making it so it's more linear rather than like you hit level 20 and then you have to grind for gear. It's no matter what you're doing, you're getting better gear, and you're going to.
Thank God,
get
because
light
that was
level.
just a terrible system. That's
Yeah.
what made me stop playing Destiny. Is like I can't progress at the rate I want. I have to just pray for gear, which
There,
sucks.
Pretty much.
there was a time before they patched Diablo 3 when there was a problem with that too. You're like, oh, I just played for an hour and a half and like accomplished like absolutely nothing. And it's
So-
like, I don't know. Games are moving away from that kind of possibility.
They're
So-
getting casual.
now
Filthy
that
casuals.
now that 20 is of almost no significance, it's just 1 to 40, right? It's like that whole level 20 significance is gone, which is kind of weird. Does that make you want to? Does that make the grind a little more appealing then?
Well, so here's my question: when you play the new Taken King content, what are the levels of the enemies? Like, are they going to be 34? Because that would make sense why they would boost. It's like, well, I don't want to go through all this stuff. I just want to play the new stuff.
Yeah, some people, I guess, is like they don't want to do the whole MMO experience and start from the beginning. They just want to play this game. So it lets you kind of like jump into just Taken King, the game.
Well, and here's another counter argument against why Jake is so irate about it. If you jump in at level 30, you're missing a lot of what they've changed because they've reorganized the entire story of the game. So if you don't start from level
Recast
1, they recast it and they've changed it. So like before it was like you hit level, what was it, like 32 or something like that, and then you got to do some story missions that went back to do other things, and now it's like more of a linear comprehensive story that you're missing out on. So it's like even if you get level 34 right at the start, you're still going to want to go back and play all
You
that
have
stuff.
incentive
Well,
to.
that's why I just don't see the point of it. Like I don't know. I feel like you're skipping so much of the game, and I don't know why they would just be fine with that.
Casuals.
Like, I feel
Money.
like if I were
That's the two
Bungie,
answers.
if I wanted, yeah, I guess I just if I made this game and if I was in love with it, shut up, stop it. Damn it, it's so right though.
Make it rain. Make it rain.
Yeah. I guess I just like people should have the experience. People should have to work for these characters. And what annoys me is almost the how hypocritical it is. The hypocrisy of it, because it's their entire thing since before it came out is that they've been saying they want, even for items, whenever you have a cool item, they want you to know the story behind you getting that item. whenever. I mean, and I know it's idealistic, but that's been
PR
the thing that they've
speak,
been.
more or less.
But that's been the thing they've
Get
been
people like
sticking
Jake
with.
to buy the game.
All right.
That's a low blow, man. The ref's
I
calling that
just
one.
mean to say that they've talked so much about how you're building up this legacy and how your character that you've been with since the very beginning is going to transfer over to Destiny 2, for instance. It's gonna go with you for the next 10 years. It's like it just
cheapens
feels-
that whole idea.
It completely cheapens it. It's like, I don't know. There's something I think special about you knowing that you've built your character up from level 1, and it just kind of seems weird when you can see someone else.
Well,
And they're better than you at the game.
I get that, but
But-
at the same point, they are going to keep doing these like supplemental things. And at some point, like with Draenor, it's like, all right, you can either hop in right now at Draenor or play like the last like 10 expansions. I know there's not 10, but it's like that'll take forever, and you just want to play with your friends who
why
are at
30
like
days?
end
What
game
I'm saying is,
content.
I don't-
There's people, all your friends who've been playing for years are like, "Yo, dude, Wars of Draenor came out. You gotta get this game." And
It's
he's
like,
like, "Oh,
I'll-
I've never
I'll-
played WoW before. Oh, it's cool. You got a level 90 boost. You'll
I'll
be
catch
right
up
in there
2
with
months.
us."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
And by
I'll
that
ta-
time, who knows if they're still playing?
Well, and
Yeah,
of
I'll
course,
talk to you guys in 2 months.
the cynic in me is like, well, then that's fine, but just
That's their problem.
put a mark over their name, so it's like this person didn't earn their level.
Yeah, it's
you know,
like, you
I
want to
know.
play with your friends, loser.
Yeah, and I get that's not realistic and it's not nice, but there's that little bit of me that's just like, no, you can't. You can't just do that. You can't just have this awesome character that's like on par with my character that I've loved.
Guys, I have to say that like this conversation is basically the three of us just crowded around Jake poking him with a stick and like watching him as he like.
And here,
Bungie.
I have a question for Jake.
All right.
Okay.
I'm gonna come in and say, Jake,
Yes.
they're gonna have the level,
What?
but they're not gonna have the gear.
That's
That's a point.
I don't agree with that.
And
I
that-
think they will because
they
they're going
will
to be
have
playing the
starter
high level
gear.
content.
They will have starter level gear, but here's the thing, Jake. The game doesn't start until you hit max level and you start doing the hard stuff, the raids.
I
the
also
trials.
disagree with that one, and I think it's just because okay. I know. I'm sorry. I'm gonna keep going here, and it's because all right. So it's just because. One, not only do I just enjoy the bulk of Destiny, even the level up stuff, like as you're getting to max level, I think it's fun. But not only that, but I think idealistically it should be fun. They shouldn't ignore it. That's a problem I have with World of Warcraft as well. Is that if they're saying if they have the same mentality that you do, that the game doesn't begin until max level, why even have anything before max level? Why would you even have that in this game that you've developed that you should be proud of? If you know that such a huge part of it is worthless,
Okay,
that
it's not
you're
it's
just
not
slogging
worthless. It's
through
just
it.
totally different.
Yeah, no, so
But different,
They
and I think
spin-
it should be different, but it's good in its own right.
they spend
I
so
love
much
leveling in
money.
WoW.
Yeah, so same
Well, yeah.
here.
No, I love leveling in WoW. I absolutely do. It takes no
Cathartic.
skill.
It's
It takes-
cathartic.
It
Then
takes
why
no
are you
skill
saying that
to
it's-
level up in WoW. It takes no skill to level up in Destiny. It's moving forward.
You have
You're taking a step forward.
heirlooms, right?
Yeah.
That's why it takes no skill.
Well, even then, like I've done it without it. I've transferred to new servers and leveled up.
I agree.
just
It is
freeform.
mostly time consuming.
That's all it is, and that's all it is. They spend so much money developing new content that is more challenging, more challenging, that it literally vanilla WoW raids. Who couldn't do those?
Yeah.
I could probably have 40 computers and run it myself and do it all. It was so simple mechanics. There's no.
I don't know, man.
skill.
Some of those were pretty messed up in Molten Core.
they-
But
they
I
were.
get like Lucifronic, the first or second guy. He was a dick. He was a dick.
Oh my god! Yeah, the first guy, like how you had to separate the tanks and do like the whole chain of tanks.
Had to
like,
kill all the core hounds at the same time.
Yeah,
that
but-
was annoying.
simple mechanic, super simple mechanic. Now you look at the newer raids and what moving pieces you are
Yeah.
with less
you gotta
people.
pick up the flamethrower and destroy the mind-bending fungus, but if the something other fungus comes up, everyone's got to stack on it and like debuff like the boss and like dispel the,
Yeah, it gets crazy.
I could go on and on. Brackenspore, exactly. But
So- and I know Jake loves the journey.
Right.
Jake loves the journey, but I think we're failing to see that the journey literally starts when you're done leveling and you're starting to do the raids, you're starting to do the PvP at a higher level. When you're getting the raid gear that is separating yourself from the other people, because everybody can level up who can do the raids, who can do the competitive, like what's it called, the Iron
Crucible?
Banner events and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
And then like the new mode, like the SWAT mode that they have, that's like you die, you stay dead, like that thing. You have to be resurrected by your player.
Okay.
I'm bad at
Don't
names.
call that SWAT, man. I mean,
It's kinda like
that
SWAT.
scared me. That's
Counter-Strike mode?
No, I'm thinking
Is that
Bungie
it?
because what I was talking about earlier with Halo, where it's the SWAT mode with no shields and
Yeah,
everyone
yeah,
starts
yeah.
with precision, so just pop their head. And it's
That
like
was
it's
super
not
fun.
Halo. It's fun. It is fun. I actually do agree. It's a fun game mode, but it's not Halo.
Okay,
whenever
totally tangent right now.
I'm
but
sorry,
I was gonna
I
say,
just-
like, as far as like the journey versus like,
I'm so hyped right now.
as far
so
as
pumped.
the journey versus like instant
Not in a good way,
gratification, like,
Fired up.
not everybody's cut out for the journey. You know, like some people they're just made for it. Maybe it's their
You need
destiny.
Shut up. No.
But in all
It's
fairness,
definitely
guys,
Dark
this is a really great conversation. But it's taking a really,
Okay,
really
I
long
know.
time.
All right, so to end it, at least on. So for me, I do see it. I understand it. I still disagree, mainly because I do have that idealistic thought that it's
Just don't be mad about it.
well, it's just that like you should earn it. There's something
Don't
about
be
it.
mad.
Yeah, and I get it. I get that it exists and that it is good for business and it's
Well,
good for.
to that, I must say,
that's my new badge on Destiny.
To
I
that-
earned level 40.
yeah. To that, I say, Jake, your point has been thoroughly made.
All right,
And
done.
moving on to our next segment, we will
Done.
bring back the Grandmaster, and we say welcome
Farewell
to the
to Mr.
Apprentice.
Nice being here, guys.
It's wonderful having you.
Can I interject here?
Please.
Can I like cut that
Don't
little
hit me.
thing?
Please, Jack.
No.
He's gonna punch me.
Can I sit out on this?
Yeah, sure.
Because
Nick.
I think it would be
Nick.
a lot of fun. I can still roll the die, but I can at least. Oh, I thought we were doing that. I'm sorry. Never mind.
Change of plans.
What are we
Okay.
doing then?
Well, I guess we're done.
Oh,
Okay.
Well then, all right, we're done then. All right, that's fine.
The Clockmaster
Wah, wah,
says
wah.
that the podcast must now die.
I didn't want to hang out
So-
with you guys anymore anyway.
Yeah, screw you guys.
So, in conclusion, I totally forgot what
I
the
know, we
name
got
of that
another-
game show is that we were talking
Roll with
about.
it?
No, the conference that we were talking about.
Oh, PlayStation.
Oh my God! Yeah, my brain totally
Oh, you
exploded.
said game show, and I was instantly
Yeah,
like
game showing.
name.
but-
Yeah.
so the PlayStation experience, we're excited for that,
Yep.
and Resident Evil 2. But either way, thanks for listening to the LHG podcast, and we'll see you guys next week. Later.
Peace.
And Jake, I disagree.
Thanks for supporting us, guys. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for more awesome content. Check out the other videos before if you want more gaming goodness. Also, if you want the MP3 form of our podcast, be sure to check the links below to go to the iTunes or our main site, Night of the Living Geeks. We'll be back next week on Wednesday. See you then.